Hey everybody, welcome back to Big TV. In this video, I'm going to be doing a match preview ahead of our Champions Cup game on Tuesday night against Ottawa here at GLS Park. Hey everybody, I'm Tyler and welcome back to Big TV. If you're new around here, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to see the latest in Nashville SC fan content. And as you can see, I'm here at GLS Park following on from our amazing win last night. I think it's amazing. I think amazing classifies. A great first win in MLS last night against New England Revolution. The first team looked amazing. The amount of flexibility, versatility, the interchange between players was just great to watch. And this Nashville team really looks like it is going to do big things this year. It is built to do more, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen this season. I don't want to overhype it, but I think we have good things coming our way if we continue this trajectory. It's only game one, but if we can keep these guys fit, and this second squad that I think we might see a lot of on Tuesday night can keep themselves developing, keep growing, keep contributing to this first team, I think we're going to have a good season one way or another, no doubt. Turning our heads to the game on Tuesday night, of course, we are going into this with a lead. And I think that's the most important thing. We're bringing a lead here to the castle. I don't have too many doubts about our abilities here. I think we are going to make sure that we see this through. But as always, there are things we need to be wary of. There are definite dangers of becoming over-complacent. But I think a 2-0 is actually probably a good place to be. I'd like to say we had a 4-0 lead. I think that's a very, very safe place to be. But a 2-0 is a good solid lead to carry into this game. I think it's quite likely that we're going to see most of the same team that started in Ottawa for Ottawa. And with the exception of perhaps Mickelbust, who has now had a little bit of time to settle into this team and could be a bit more of a danger. He's the striker that they signed not that long ago. And when we first played them last week, he was probably not bedded into the team enough to really make a difference, but of course he's had an extra week with them now. He's also had a little bit of match time with them, and I think he could be a little bit more of a threat coming down to GLS Park and could pose more of a difficulty. In terms of our lineup, I think we're going to be looking pretty much the same as we did last week. I'm going to do a full 11 breakdown in a separate video, so you can check out my predicted 11 in that video. But I think the good thing is we didn't lose anybody yesterday to injury. We came through very easily without having to overstretch our more experienced players. We allowed some of these players that did play 90 minutes or played 60 minutes in Ottawa to get a bit more game time, and we were allowed to rotate a lot of our team. So I'm not too worried about that. I think this is a really good way to start the season. Neither game has been too testing. In fact, the New England Revolution game was probably less taxing than the Ottawa game in some ways, and that has allowed us to keep our squad nice and fresh, rotated, and ready to go for this game on Tuesday night. So the idea in mind that we are more likely to see a lot of the players that played last Tuesday, I would like to see some of that fluidity that we saw in the first team brought across into this second string lineup. I think the first team is looking really great in terms of its ability to switch positions, play a sort of total football style where you have players dropping in all sorts of different spaces, all sorts of different holes, and the front line really interchanging a significant amount. Now, of course, that does rely on the players that you've got in the system, but I do think there could be a little bit more flexibility with some of those players like Wheel, for instance, very capable of playing a number of positions. And I would just like to see these guys take the shackles off a bit and really go for it a little bit more, be a little bit more experimental, be a little bit more free. Of course, Tuesday night was a big first game away from home, but I think coming home here, hopefully they'll feel a little bit more confident. We've had 2 great wins, and hopefully we can see a little bit more of that fluidity and exciting football, as well as getting a win. Now, tactically, I think it's likely that Ottawa are going to play exactly the same shape as they did in the first game. So I think if we can see our front three really block out their pivot in midfield, like we saw last week, it really makes it difficult for them. There are a lot of opportunities that they gave away by Jordan Knight or Bauer, for instance, going to the byline, and their back three really pulled right across, leaving a ton of space for the opposite winger to come in and get a goal. So I'd like to see that. I'd like to see us really attack down their wings. Their wingbacks don't want to track back. That was evident from that first game. Whether they'll have been coached out of that and been told you need to be tracking back more and helping out, we'll see. But if they leave that space open again, their back three is definitely available to be dragged across, and that leaves a lot of space for players on the opposite sides, and I'm sure that won't have gone unnoticed by BJ, so perhaps we'll see a little bit more of that in this game, and hopefully a few more goals from those opportunities, because we missed a number of those in the first game, and that would have been a very easy win if we'd managed to finish those. So overall, not a ton to say about this. Of course, Ottawa are still in their off-season, and we've had a great performance on Sunday, so I think we really should have the momentum to carry in and get the win. I'm going to say that this will be a 3-0 to Nashville SC, And I'd like to see perhaps Rubens Pasillas get on the score sheet, but I think we've got more than enough to make sure that we end up seeing Miami in the next round. So let me know your thoughts on this one. I'd love to hear your score predictions. Leave those in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and the subscribe button, and we will see you in the next one. Come on, you boys in gold.